you understood, right? Like earlier I asked you guys to create one multi-protocol gateway to test this sign action. Okay. Now instead of multi-protocol gateway, the same exercise we are doing in the XML firewall. The reason is very simple, because for multi-protocol gateway you need to call another backend to get the response and all. So instead of that, we make it very simple. We create one loopback service in XML firewall and we test the sign action. Okay. Now click on XML firewall, create one simple service like how we used to do earlier. Or if you want to reuse that lab one, that is also fine. If you want to create new one, that is also fine. Let's pass through next. Do it as a loopback. Here you do the sign, XML firewall sign. Okay, next. So here it should be loopback, so we don't need any backend. Click on next. Okay, so give any port number. Commit. Done. Okay, now open the process service XML firewall. Okay, go little bit down and okay, go to request type. Okay, here you select as a SOAP. Okay, why SOAP I will explain. So click on apply. Do you have any sample SOAP request? Maybe earlier we created one WSP service, right? The same SOAP we can reuse. Yeah. We'll add the sign action later. We'll just test this service blind. Okay, so here you go back to the Datapower appliance. Now when you click on save config, it is not saving it, right? Still the message pop-up is as it is only. Right? If you go to Datapower appliance, okay, Datapower appliance. Okay, it's already saved. Okay, it's fine. Sometimes when that if you will click on save config, but still you will be seeing the same yellow color highlighted portion, like it will not give the configuration saved successfully. That time what you can do is the other option will be there. There will be some hyperlink called as view changes. You click on that and then click on save config, it will be saved. Okay, yeah, this one only. You can open it. We need the request message from that. Open project you can do. You just take that SOAP request. Close this one. Now we'll create new project only. You just take the request.
Clone.
That's what, like clone. It will clone the method only, but we will create one new project only. I'm saying. So in this we'll take the request only. Yeah. Just take the request with plus symbol. Yeah, so there you take any one, add multiple, anything. Yeah, take this request and now create one REST project with the sign action. But better is like instead of editing this, yeah, you create the new project only with the sign. Give as a sign directly, no need of URL. Sign example or something like that. Okay. So now rest project 1, you just rename it to same XML firewall sign action. First change that project name rest project 1 to XML firewall sign action on top. Yeah. Make it as a XML. Okay, yeah, test this one now. So you should get the same request back in the response. Maybe it's HTTP, yes or no, right? 1002. Okay, so the service is working fine now. Okay, now you go to that processing policy of that XML firewall. Yeah, save this XML. Okay, so here you add the new processing policy rule. XML firewall sign PP. PP request. Okay. Client to server. Okay. No, so even if you drop before, it will come after only. So if you remember, before match action you cannot put anything, everything should be after match action only. Okay, now we will go step by step. You remove that sign action, just create the match action and the result action. And just click on apply policy, result will be created. And then test once again quickly. It will take automatically whatever input type, output type and all, it will take automatically. Sorry. Yeah, just test from the SOAP AI once and enable the probe. We just want to make sure it's sitting to the same service. Show probe and hit one enter. Sorry, what happened? You enabled the probe, right?
No.
Yeah, just enable the probe and just to make sure port conflict is not there, we'll just see. because since we are getting the same request back, sometimes even if it's failure also we get the same. Okay, now this is fine. So the request is coming, and if you observe the response from the SOAP UI, whatever you sent, it is coming as it is, correct. Now we apply the sign action on the same request. Okay, now just drag the sign action in the processing policy rule. So sign, what it will do, sign is different, encrypt is different. Sign in the sense you will use one particular algorithm. Algorithms could be like RSA algorithm, okay, which is most commonly used. With the help of that algorithm, you make use of your private certificate and public certificate, and you apply one sign on top of that particular request. Okay, and why we are testing this particular flow on the SOAP messages? Yeah, just double click on this one, sign action. Okay, now if you see, first one is like a standard, okay, XML security we are going to provide, means it is applicable for both either SOAP message or for the JSON. Okay, if you are doing for the JSON, then you need to select the second option, which is JSON web security. Okay, currently it's for the SOAP, so it will be on the XML security. Now if you see the envelope method, okay, envelope method will be like WS check, means whenever it will do the sign action, whatever key and all it is going to generate, under which particular element it should generate that. That kind of the method is nothing but your WS security method. Okay, very soon you will come to know what is that WS sec. Don't worry about now. Now if you see the message type, here we are going to provide it as a SOAP message. That's the reason our input type we are getting it as a input type we are triggering with the SOAP message. Okay, this all things are fine. Now if you little bit come down, signing algorithm is the RSA. Okay, but it depends, like most of the time 98% always signing algorithm will be on the RSA. If they ask you to change the algorithm, then only according to the consumer application you will be changing the algorithm. Okay, this other things whatever you are seeing, right, RSA 256, 384, 512, these all will come under the RSA package only. If you just select the RSA, all these inbuilt functions, SHA algorithms are already present in the RSA. If you particularly want to encrypt or sign the message with 512, then you are going to select with the 512, but generally will not do that. 98% it will be on the RSA algorithm. Okay, now down you have key and certificate, right? This is the heart of your sign action. Okay, because when it has to sign the message, what help it needs is, it need help from the private key and the public certificate. Okay, so key, you guys already know, key is nothing but your private certificate, certificate is nothing but your public certificate. Okay, those two inputs we need to give for the sign action. Okay, now in the drop down of the key, you just see if any certificate is there. It should not be the expired one, maybe your certificates are expired, we will create one now. Yeah, okay, it is not expired, right? No, one second. In the key you should select the private key one. Okay, and which is your private key here? Click on three dots. This is the confusion, na? So that's the reason any time when you create the object, we should give the proper name. Like here test crypto key you have given, that is fine. With the key you will be able to understand it's a private key, but most of the times what we give for the private key is we give it as the name as private key only. For example, test crypto private key, so that there will not be any confusion, because lot of objects will be there, na? You will get confused which are private and which are public. With the name only you will be able to identify. If not, anyways we have this mechanism, like you can open that profile and whatever like private key.pem, that means it's a private key. So now this is correct. Okay, but always make a practice to give the proper names. Okay, yeah, close this one. Now what you did in the key section, you have selected the private key. In the certificate you need to give the public certificate. Okay, now but remember, whatever key you are going to give, right, the public certificate of same certificate should be present in the certificate. Okay, you are getting, right? It's a key and certificate pair. Means today you generated one private key with Ranjit, and tomorrow you created another private certificate with Kalyan. Okay, now you have two set of certificates. First what you will do, in the key you will give the private key of Ranjit, but in the certificate you will give the public certificate of Kalyan. So there is no match between both, right? So always whatever private key you are giving, the corresponding public certificate only should be given as the reference. Okay. Now here you select the crypto key, that is correct. Just in the certificate you select the public certificate. Yeah, correct, that one only, the first one. Key is correct, crypto key is correct one. For the certificate you select the first object. Okay, just to check whether it's a public certificate or not, click on 3 bell dots. Yeah, yes, it is a public certificate. And how you will understand it's a public certificate? When you click on the details, you will be able to see the details. Okay, so whenever it's opening, that means it's a public certificate. If you do the same exercise for private, it will not open. It will give the error saying like you cannot edit the private certificate. That is one easiest way to identify. Okay, you don't have any details option only. Sometimes you will be having the details option, but even if you click on that, it will give the error message. Okay, click on done. So that's all. We go one by one, we will not apply any encryption and all. You just test this service and observe the output, how it looks like. Okay, so apply the service once, apply the service. This one you applied for the processing policy. The next step would be, save config, then you test it. Okay, do you see the difference? Now, one thing is here what and all things are most important. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th line. Okay, you have WSU created. Down, 5th line, down to that created. Down, created. So now this is exactly like your OTP concept. Like when you receive the OTP in your message, it will have some expiry time, right? Within that time period, if you give the verify is like you received one OTP, you give that OTP in your whatever transaction you are doing. If it is correct OTP, then verify is successful, or else it is failure. Okay. Second scenario is like OTP you are entering correct only, but after expiry time, so that OTP will not work, means the verify action will not work. So here also same concept. If you do see the created and expiry time difference, like everything is same, like there is a 14 and here it is 19, right? So there is a 5 seconds time you will be getting for the sign action, means verify should be done within 5 seconds. 5 seconds, or I think it's 5 minutes. 5 seconds will be very less, right? I think it's 5 minutes. I'm not sure on that, like we'll check like whether it's a 5 seconds, but I think it's 5 minutes only by defaultly. Okay, because 5 seconds will be over by the hitting it to the backend only. Okay, so created and expires are the 2 times where it will tell the verify, means your backend service should be executed within this time period. Okay, it should do the verification. Now other thing, if you go little bit down, is like this signature and all are there. If you see, all the things are appended in the WSSec header only. Go little down here. Can you see anywhere WSSec? Little bit up. Here WSSE security token reference is there, right? The starting are all like whatever algorithm you used, what is the hash algorithm you used, digest value and all those things are there. Okay, the final encryption would sign action would be this one, WS security token reference is there, right? That is your signed action. On top of that you have the signature value also. Okay, this is like your signed action. With that you will not be able to understand anything, but with the help of algorithm it is doing the sign action on your message. Okay, but only difference is if you go little bit down, whatever request you sent, right, the soap body, add method, everything is visible as it is, correct? Like int a equal to 20, int b equal to 10. So what's happening in the sign action is it is doing the sign okay, but your message is not protected yet. Okay, someone, if he do the hacking on the sign action, he will do the verify you. Okay, still he will be able to see your details which are present in the request message. Correct? Means you are providing the security but not 100%. So that's the reason always what they will do is, whenever you sign the message, along with that you do the encryption part also. Okay, now our next task is, whatever request you are saying, right, like soap body, int a, int b, this whole request should not be visible to anyone. Okay, so for that what you need to do, again same thing, after your sign action you just need to add the encryption option. Okay, go to that processing policy again. Yeah. After that sign, you just drag and drop the encrypt on top. You have, this is a verify. So encrypt, like on the same message we are doing the sign as well as the encrypt. Okay, yeah, double click now. So encryption also same, right? You need to provide the certificates to do the encryption. Okay, now the encryption method is like WS security encryption. Correct? Now go a little bit down. So here, here on that screen, third one, yeah, okay, yeah. So here if you see, first thing is like by defaultly in some screens, for you it is directly visible, but for some screens when you click on the encrypt action, there is encryption key type is there, right? Drop down. Just click on that. Like there are n number of the things. Use key wrapped by the symmetric key. Okay, use symmetric key directly. So these are appended when the user itself will send the encrypted message. Okay, but in your case you want to use a certificate, and with that certificate you want to do the encryption of the message. Okay, that time by defaultly you have to select. If you read that encryption key type, you will understand. Just click on that once. Yes, so here are the methods. Okay, like use key to deactivate the STC. These are all like token related and all, no need to worry in detail. Okay, by defaultly whenever we do the sign action in the Datapower, we by defaultly use the third option. Okay, other things are like whenever it's a Java application, when they demand, that's like 1 or 2%, but we never do with the modification. We always use the existing encryption methods. Okay, so don't worry about these things. What I was trying, like here you have 3 options, right? The starting from 4th line. Okay, use what is that? If neural key transferred by the asymmetric algorithm. Okay, among these you will be selecting where you have the option of the certificate. Yeah, close this one now. Okay, and click on the drop down again. Okay, so if you see here, like the first one, we need to use the key transported by the asymmetric algorithm. Yeah, select that. A little bit come down. Okay, so here you have this recipient certificate, right? Whatever certificate you used for the sign action, right? Same certificate object you give here as well. No, maybe not that one. Crypto cert we use, I guess. Yeah. Okay. Click on done. Click on apply.
This certificate is different. Okay.
Now inside that what object may be different, inside that which certificate it is referring to, that matters.
No.
Now click apply policy. Even if it's not doing any verify action or decryption and all, you will easily understand whatever certificate you provided, those are not matching. That's why those things will not work, or else it's straightforward always. Okay. So now what will happen? Whatever sign action you had, right, that will still remain same because you still had the sign action. Only thing, the extra thing it will be added is your WS security part. Okay, that is the extra. And if you go down full last, your request will be encrypted. Okay, do you see that? So the whole request is encrypted with the cipher data, means your request is not visible at all. Okay, this is the way you need to send it into the network. If you send this way to network, nobody will be able to identify what exactly you are sending, right? Because you will be having credit card numbers and all, so you cannot send the plain message. Always you have to encrypt. Encrypt means this way, the message will be converted in the cipher value. That way you are going to validate now. Okay, so now what happened? You did the sign action and you did the encryption. Okay, now the reverse way we want to test it now. If you want to test the reverse way, what you need to do? Same way, right? We are going to create another XML firewall service. First action what we will do is we will do the verify action. Okay, then we test it. Now when you do the test, which message you will be using?
Soap message.
Not that one, because the message you are going to verify and decrypt, right? So to do the verification, you have to give the input which is already signed, correct?
Oh.
So whatever you got in the output, that will be your input for the next service. So what it will do is, whatever signature value is there, that will be verified with the certificate. Okay, then when you add the decryption, what it will do, whatever the cipher value is there, right, cipher data, that will be validated and it will decrypt the data. Decryption in the sense, for example, you had the name as Kalyan. Okay, Kalyan name you encrypted with something like 1 2 3 4. Okay, now when you want to decrypt it, the input you will be giving as 1 2 3 4. The decrypt action will decrypt it to Kalyan, that way. Okay, so now we have the input ready. We'll create another XML firewall. Same way, you add the verify action. Now instead of sign action, we will first do the verify action with another XML firewall service. Okay, this is done. We'll create another service.
Can I edit policy, right?
Yeah, policy also you can do, yes, but match action you need to change.
Can I do verify?
Yeah, in this match action you first do for the sign. Match action you do for the sign. Other action you create and do it for the verify. A double click. URI match you can do. Instead of all, you need to create something new. You need to create the new. Okay, maybe you have one down, XML firewall sign, or click on plus symbol quickly, we'll do it. Okay, do it as a match sign. Click on add. Now URI match. Instead of URL, that would be URI. Sorry, same URL only. Slash star sign you can give. Slash star, or just use slash sign. Yeah, that's enough. Okay, so click on apply. Okay, done. Apply the policy. Okay, so now when you test the URL, you need to append it as a slash sign in the SOAP UI. Okay, so rejected because there is nothing matching, right? So the resource you need to give now, which is like slash sign. After 2002, you give it as a slash sign because your
It is working.
no you change the match action. Now with star there is nothing. You are
Oh, sorry.
yeah. So
yeah.
sign you need to add, yeah, slash sign. This way. Okay, now same way you create another policy and give it as a verify. In the same service, you create another rule. 3 dots.
Can I create new service?
Now, here only you can create the new policy, whichever is easier for you.
Okay.
If you are not confusing, then not here. Click on 3 dots. Means we are editing the existing policy and we are creating new rule. Okay. So whenever you send as sign, it will go to sign action. Whenever you do it a verify, it will go to verify action. Okay, and double click, create the new for the verify. Now we need to create the new. Now we need for the verify action, right? So match verify. Slash verify. Yes, perfect. Done. Now you do the verify action. Result is already. Whenever you click on apply policy, right, automatically result will be created. Yeah. So now the interview questions what they will ask is, when you sign with certificate named as Kalyan, okay, when you want to do the verification, do you still use the same certificate or any other certificate is also fine? Okay, so the answer would be like we need the same certificate, because it's very straightforward, right? With what you are signing to decrypt also we need the same certificate only. Okay, so for that what will happen, when you sign with one certificate in Datapower, the same certificate you will give it to your provider also, because when they want to do the verify action from their application, they do it with the same public certificate. Okay, yeah, double click. Okay, so now go down. Validation credentials. So why we are not giving single certificate but the whole object? You are understanding, right? Like encryption part you given only one certificate directly. Okay, but here for the verify action, instead of one certificate it is asking for the valcred. Valcred in the sense whole objects, like all the certificates. You have 100 certificate that will be stored in the valcred. Now here it is asking for the valcred. The reason is very simple, because the validation would be only one service, but other like incoming request will be so many, right? Like so many services, but ultimately you will be hitting only one service to verify that one. Okay, so the reason of having the valcred here is, in single valcred only you can add all the certificates, like whether Kalyan will test or Ranjit will test or Kavi will test. All the certificates will be present in single object to do the verification. Okay, so that way. Or else what will happen, you will create n number of the verify services and it will not hit to that one. So you should be only one verify service and all certificates should be present in the one verify service, that way. Okay, now in the drop down you see which valcred you have. Validation credentials, yes, the same one. Okay, click on done. That's all done. Okay, click on apply policy and apply the service. Okay, we quickly do the just verify now. Decryption we will do after this. Okay, now go to SOAP UI. Kavi, you are understanding, right, what we are doing? Okay.
Yes, sir, I am understanding, sir.
Okay. No, the whole request you take, whole request. Whatever is there in the output, right, you take all, whole thing, complete. Control all, yeah. So create another request. Here only, yeah, sign is there, no? You can create it as a verify. Clone resource to verify. So instead of sign, here now it should be verify, and paste that request. Okay. So when you test, which part should go off now? The top, whatever you had. Okay. So hash values do not match. That is the certificate issue. Okay. Like hash values do not match in the sense, whatever you signed, right? If that certificate is not present on that valcred which you have appended, so you will see this hash value do not match. Okay. That is fine. Now what you do, before that verify, you put the decrypt. We will see whether decryption is happening or not. This error is valid, okay, but your service is fine. Now go to the second rule. No, here everything is same only. You added a verify, right? So second rule, yeah. There, before verify, you add another action called as decrypt. Usually it should be verify and then decrypt, but since verify is not working, we'll just test whether decrypt at least working or not. Yeah, drag and drop decrypt. Yeah, configure this one with the same certificates. Now if this decrypt works, that means what should happen? Whatever request is encrypted with the cipher key, right, that should go off and it should give you the plain message. Okay. Decryption key. Key means private key we need to give. Yeah, the same one. Correct. Give that. Click on done and test it. We'll see. So what happened? You just remove that verify and just add the decryption only. Here verify is fine. Here you keep verify. There on the processing policy you had verify action. You just remove that one. Not this one, second one. Yes, apply and then enable the probe also. Okay, just go down at last. Right? So you can see that 20 and 10, right? That means the decryption is successful now. If you see, your input data was like cipher data on the left hand side. Okay, that cipher data got converted into the decryption, and whatever encryption was there, it's decrypted and given you the output again as int A and int B. Right? So same way, even the first starting whatever lines you have, right, all those should go off once your verify action is successful. Okay, and to make the verify action successful, you just need to validate whether you have the same certificate added or not. Okay, that exercise I will leave it to you. If you are not getting, we will do it again tomorrow. You guys understood, right, why verify action is not working? Because whatever certificate reference we had given for the sign and verify, the both may not be matching to each other. Only that is the reason. Okay, so for the decryption it was not a problem at all, because what happened, we had given the private key directly and we had only one private key, so it's worked perfectly fine. Okay, so sign, encryption, verify and decryption. Okay, So again, it's not always same, right? If you remove the sign action from your what is that from the first service, if you put only the encryption and if you just put the decryption, that way how it will do, when you do trigger the request without sign action. Yeah, now do one thing, go to the request and remove that sign action. Yeah, first one, yeah, remove that sign. Okay, so now you have only the encryption and down you have the decryption, right? Now click on apply policy and test the service and see the output. You first you need to test for the sign action. Means now all those WSEC the headers and all whatever you got for sign, that will not be there, only your request will be in the cipher value. So means there is no dependency sign, the top one, top request one, right? Okay. So if you see how much data you will get for the encryption, okay. So cipher value it is done, but if you see in the under the security, you have got all the data which is encrypted, correct? Now at the time of decryption, again it needs all the algorithms also, right? It means how you go up, same way you need to come back, like which algorithm you use it to sign, the same algorithm you want to do the decryption. So whatever you have in this security block, right, on the top, all those security blocks are related to how it has to do the decryption. The last one, once it do the decryption with the help of the cipher value, it will give you the output as the same input. Okay. Now you take this output and test it for the decryption. Take this output and go to second request, yeah, and test it here. So now you should get the same request back in your output. Simple. You got it, right?
Right.
Okay. You guys can do few more examples, like if you test on XML, what will happen? The same example you can do, try it on the JSON as well, like how it works on the JSON. That way you can just do it from your side. Okay. So everything will remain same. There will not be any difference with the message, but just for your understanding purpose. Okay. Because whatever message is there, that is separate part. It is not relevant like JSON and all. Only way is like it will append the headers on top of your request. Okay. So Kalan, you have meeting today also? Like
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, Ranjit?
Nothing. The certificate while returning, like the second response, like what we kept is it a different certificate we mapped?
No, that's what, na?
Everything is
Same. It should be same always. That's the reason. If you see the verify action, it was giving hash not match found, right? In the Google, you search Kalan hash not found. It will give the reason for that. Hash value does not match in the Google.
So first time it was different certificate, right? While matching, while giving, right?
No, maybe in the configuration what we did are like two different certificates. For sign we use different and for verify we use different, that way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Kalan, in Google just type hash value does not match. The same error we got, na? It will tell the reason for that. That is very common error message. Yeah. Just hit enter. See, the certificate chain does not match with the certificates. Okay. These all things no need to worry because in your companies and all, these all things will be already, objects will be created. You will do just the, from the drop down you will be just selecting that option. Creation and all not required in your companies. you better give in sign action only. Hash value not found in sign action. Sign action. Remove that in certificate. Yeah. That's all. Digital signature verification failed. So very simple thing, like whatever CA name you are doing the sign, because these are very straightforward words, right? So sign and verify, when you read in general terms also, with what certificate you sign, with the same certificate you have to do the verify also, that way. Incorrect reference digest value. You do one thing, like after this now you create one set of new certificate objects, okay, give proper naming to that certificate and you try to refer all those. It should work. Okay, so you have time, or you said you have the class, right? Maybe.
Yeah, I need to top up.
Sure. Yeah, we'll also drop, no issues. So tomorrow's topic, I will just let you. This recording has been done in the Skype Kavi. You guys can download. Okay.
Sir, one doubt, sir.
Yeah, tell me.
Sir, in output, why we are copied that message to input, sir?
Okay, because generally what will happen, you trigger the request, you will get some output. That output you will not use anywhere, right? For example, you are you want some your bank balance. Okay, you give your account number as input and you will get the balance details. That's all. There is no further action on that. Okay, now you think the same scenario, you give your account number and in the output it will give you something like, it will not directly give you your bank balance. Okay, instead of that, what it will give the output saying like you take this number, something like 1 2 3 4, it will give you once again trigger with that 1 2 3 4, then only I will give you the actual output. That way means whatever request you sent, right, earlier it did the encryption to that. Okay, now if you want to do the decryption, simple way as I told, okay, you think that you are testing with one request which is like Kavi is your input. Okay, so first what I will do, the Kavi I will encrypt it to, instead of Kavi it will be encrypted with some other value, like K will be encrypted with 1 value, A will be encrypted with 2 value, V will be encrypted with 3, I will be encrypted with 4. So total KAVI is encrypted with 1 2 3 4. Okay, now when you want to decrypt that, if you give directly as Kavi only, what you will decrypt? It's already decrypted value, right? Kavi is already decrypted. If you want to decrypt, what input you should give is 1 2 3 4, because that is the encrypted one. When you give as 1 2 3 4, it will again decrypt it to KAVI. That's the reason what we did is, when we test for the first action, we were doing the sign action, means it was generating the output as 1 2 3 4. So next time what we did, we took that 1 2 3 4 as the input and we triggered it to the decrypt. It has given the output as KAVI, that way.
Okay.
Got it, right?
Yeah, got it, sir.
Yeah, simple. So you can also do that exercise. Tomorrow we'll see it in your screen also. Okay. Today we did for SOAP. Yeah, sure, Kalan. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah. So today we did in the clan system for SOAP, right? Kavi, you try for the JSON one.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Only difference for you will be, instead of sending SOAP request, you will be sending the JSON request.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Fine, team.
Okay.
Then we'll connect to